This is the book of Psalm, chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. NLT version. Their own tongues will ruin them, and all who see them will shake their heads in scorn. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Brakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Psalm, chapter 64, verse 8, as well as bringing out the NLT version, I want to play a video from the Alex Jones show where now Alex Jones is exposing how these JJs, these 1948ers, okay, like Bibi, look at America as the new Rome. Now, this is something we've been saying for many years, starting with our apostle elders. In fact, they've been saying it for decades, that America is the new Rome, okay? America pushes the Roman ways. You can read this in Revelation chapter 13. I'll start at the 11th verse, but the point is in 12, right? And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, right? This another beast coming up out of the earth represents America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Egypt and Sodom. And he had two horns like a lamb, right? Okay, this is talking about the two-party system, all right? The two political parties, right? Your Republicans and Democrats. Well, Rome had their own factions, similar to Republicans and Democrats. Rome had the patricians and the plebeians. Google it, okay? It's all facts. Google it. And he spake as a dragon, right? Meaning pushing unrighteous decrees, draconian laws, all right? As you can see, all right, America is in a police state slash soft form of martial law, all right? January 2026, what? Let's get it. Let's get it, because we bring out facts here. But a lot of y'all going to skip this, all right? January 2026, QRF, National Guard, 50 states, right? National Guard in each state is ordered to create a quick, you see this? Military.com. Quick reaction forces trained in civil unrest for each state, okay? So yeah, these are these draconian measures, because really, all right, if you've been paying attention, they're getting ready for a societal collapse. I just me and my brother Zachariah just did a lesson on Friday where 90% of the population, all right, they're in a contraction, meaning they're not spending, okay. They're taking on too much debt. There's a lot of them delinquent on their mortgage, rent. Rent, they'll be kicked out, but mortgage and car note. Okay, so this is a sign of an imminent economic collapse that's coming. That's why they got the National Guard out. All right, and this is all by design. But the point is, these are these draconian laws. Okay, so let's continue on. Again, America is Rome 2.0. All right, now we're going to bring out the point right here, 12. And he exerciseth. Who's the he exercises? It's talking about America. all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right. If you go up to Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Right. Okay. America pushes, all right, the ancient Roman ways to the whole earth. Okay. Now, I asked ChatGPT, is Revelation 13:11 referring to America? It says, interpretation 1, yes, some believe this refers to America. All right. Now, of course, they're saying the two horns represent civil liberty and religious liberty. Again, the two horns represent the two political party system. Now, they do say when they ask these retarded ass Americans, to vote for them, they do say, yeah, I'm here to make sure your civil liberties are intact. And I'm here to make sure your religious liberties are, okay, not infringed on. All right. But it's all BS. We saw that with the pandemic, right? They prevented people from going to the churches. All right. To the so-called churches, right? These harlot houses. And of course, they told people to go into their homes. All right. Where in New York, you had and that's why Governor Cuomo didn't win. All right. Because old people were dying. Okay. In these living facilities during the pandemic. He was known as the grandma killer, Governor Cuomo. That's why, there was no way he was going to get into office. And again, they put, and it's all theater. All right. At the end of the day, this is all it's all controlled by the same international bankers. All right. They're basically putting this Mamdani character in New York City so that when New York collapses, he's the scapegoat. We'll see what happens. This is what happens. You put socialists, communists in the city. This is what you get. That's why this idiot Muslim character. He's just as a scapegoat. Anyway, I want to go to Spake as a Dragon. Oh, before that, check this out. Coming up out of the earth. Unlike the first beast that rises from the sea, symbols of nations, right? The sea represents peoples. Earth is seen as more sparsely populated new land, the new world, right? Okay, that's why in the book of Acts, I got it right here, when the disciples asked Yahushua, after Yahushua rose from the dead, he was resurrected, all right, by his Father, okay, and he came to his disciples. The disciples said, hey, at this time are you going to restore the kingdom to Israel, all right? And that's a cut to you Genesis characters, all right? How come the disciples didn't say, all right, and the heathens that have been treating us well, all right? Y'all Genesis characters are off, all right? I'm calling you the PowerPoint ninjas. All right, Act chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? Right, the kingdom's for Israel, no one else. That's who salvation's for. That's who's receiving deliverance. All right, and the great deliverance is coming out of America, Babylon the Great. All right, where the new world is at. Okay, this is the new world on this side, right? 7, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father had put in his own power. Right, because again, this is according to the God of Israel, according to Yahushua's Father. All right. He has the day he wants his son to deliver his people, which are the Israelites, okay, of the elect, while simultaneously judging you wicked Cretans and putting you in the dirt once and for all, okay, meaning your body, okay. All right, we're waiting on the we're on the Father's timeline, not on Yahushua's timeline, the Father's timeline, okay. 8, but here's the point: but ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you, right, the Comforter, okay. It's the spirit that is put upon you while you're reading the scriptures to get the proper understanding. And the only one that's got the comforter are the elect. Okay? And you clearly see a lot of these pseudo Hebrew Israelites, they ain't got the spirit. They ain't got the Holy Spirit. They're changing the doctrine up in the last seconds, okay, of this thing, man. They're changing it up where we're clearly at the end. We're, again, Alex Jones is bringing out what we've been said, all right? Which I'm going to play the clip. Bear with me. The Spirit's just, moving. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. What's that talking about? All right? The new world, okay? And so the truth came out of here. Babylon, out of Babylon the Great, okay? So just wanted to bring that out, lessons within lessons. 3. So now we're going back to America's oppressive oppressive regime, which has all been prophesied. And again, it goes back to Rome. Rome did the same thing to its people, and America is doing the same thing. It starts mild, ends in oppressive global authority, fits a view of America becoming more authoritarian or globalized at the end times. Right. Again, National Guard, ICE agent, different agents. All right. Nothing new under the sun. Rome did the same thing. So when you go back to Revelation 13 and 12, and he calls all the power of the first beast before him, all right, meaning America is going to push the ancient Roman ways, and he calls the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right. So there you go. Now, let's play. Because in this video, in the Alex Jones show, they're saying the same thing. Now, of course, we got to chew the meat and spit out the bones because, all right, Alex Jones thinks that these are the chosen people, and they're not. Okay, they're Edomites too, but they're known as the Amalekites, a descendant of Esau, Edom. Okay, so how Israel has 12 tribes, so does Edom. Edom has many tribes. Okay, and one of the tribes is Amalek. So let's play.
We had a moving visit today to the wall. I can't resist repeating this, but I'm going to. I said to the secretary that the last time Pompeo visited Jerusalem didn't end that well.
Right, so Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, he's referring to General Pompeo, okay? Because Mike Pompeo, his last name is Pompey. So that's why he was, throwing a joke at his name. And he's like, yeah, it didn't end well because he thinks he's the chosen, which he's not. All right, because what happened? General Pompey sacked Judea and then turned it into a vassal, okay, a tributary to Rome. Okay, so this is what he's talking about, the history. All right, but now check this out. Again, out of Bibi's own mouth.
But this is a different time. Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. But the new Rome, the United States, views itself as a new Jerusalem.
So there you go. So Bibi is acknowledging America as the new Rome. Okay? So we've been said this. That's why America, all right, was established, okay, as that little horn, okay, that spake great things, okay, just like ancient Rome. In fact, let me get it. The little horn. Well, I spelled that wrong. Little horn. Yep. Daniel chapter 7. And I'll start at 7. All right, this is the vision Daniel, an Israelite, received regarding, okay, the kingdoms that would rise and that would fall, all right, throughout history, okay. So this is the fourth kingdom, or the fourth beast, and you notice how Daniel, okay, is describing these kingdoms as beasts because these are heathens, all right. These heathens can't receive salvation, all right. Doesn't matter how good they treat us. In fact, hold up. Lesson within lessons. You Genesis clowns are just retarded, man. Okay? Wait, enemies. Peace. Let me do this. Brothers know I'm going with this. Here it is. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. There you go. Okay? So as long as you're doing the right thing, all right, before the Lord, all right, the Lord is going to make sure that these enemies are at peace with us. Okay? So it's the Lord who controls our enemies, all right, while we're waiting for our deliverance, okay, meaning being saved from the destruction. So yeah, when we go to our enemy, we have to go. First of all, the scriptures say we got to go to our enemies for one of all things. Okay, that's part of the curses. So yeah, we got to go to work. So yeah, if Esau gives us a promotion, all right, it still comes from the Lord, all right, because we were doing the right thing before our power. You Genesis clowns, all right, do not make any sense, man. All right. That's why I call y'all the PowerPoint ninjas. Just want to bring that out. Lessons within lessons. All right, so back. Let's keep playing. It's getting spicy.
Now, do you think it's just coincidence that this random person just came up to him and asked him, "What are you reading, BB?"
We want to know what you're reading now.
What I'm reading?
Yeah.
It's a book by a historian named Barry Strauss. It's called The Jews Against Rome. The Jews Against Rome.
Now you can see that these JJs, they don't like America, okay? They associate America with Rome, okay? They associate Western civilization with Rome, okay? Even though they got it fucked up, they're Edomites too, okay? They were the Romans too. A good example, right? Herod, okay? Herod was an Idumean, okay? Watch. Herod the Idumean. All right? Idumean Herod refers to Herod the Great, the king of Judea, appointed by Rome, all right? Because they all knew they were the same people, who was Idumean Edomite descendant. His Idumean heritage was a source of contention for many Jews because his ancestors had been forcibly converted to Judaism, making them viewed by some as not authentically an Israelite, okay? Right, it was Hyrcanus, okay, who forced a lot of these Edomites to take on our customs, okay? John Hyrcanus. It was right. Wait, let me, because hey, let's go bringing this back up. Repetition. Auto remembers. John Hyrcanus. Right. Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. He didn't look like that. He was a dark man. All right. This is all lies. Anyway, John Hyrcanus. Let's just go to AI mode. It should give us a little briefing. Yep, here it is. John Hyrcanus, Hasmonean ruler, reigned 134-104, conquered the Edomites, also known as Idumeans, around 125 BCE, and issued an ultimatum: convert to Hebrew Israelite custom or leave their territory. This marked a unique and unprecedented instance of forced conversion perpetrated by an Israelite leader in recorded history. Right. This is how you have, okay, King Herod. All right. He was an Edomite, but he was forced to take on the customs of the Israelites. Does that mean he gets saved? No. Okay. No, he doesn't. All right. See, lessons within lessons. So that's what it is. So Bibi, okay, could be considered, from that line, the just making as an example. He thinks he's a Jew, but he's not. All right. And again, at least what's it called? King Herod, he was attempting to keep the customs. He had a beard. Okay? Bibi don't even got a beard. So he ain't keeping none of the customs. All right, but that's the point. Just lessons within lessons. All right? So he's reading Rome versus Jerusalem or Israel. Wait, let's play that again. What is it? What was the book?
Historian named Barry Strauss. It's called The Jews Against Rome.
Right. Jews versus Rome. Right. So look how he looks at it when he said it. So these JJs, these 1948ers, they see Western civilization as Rome, Edom, Rome. And you're going to see it because watch what Alex Jones says, all right? It's going to get spicy. Bear with me.
Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one.
He said we lost that one and we got to win the next one. This is why they're destroying America from within, all right? This is why they demoralized America and Western civilization, because these JJs, they always had a hatred towards, these Edomites, these everyday Edomites, which they're Edomites themselves, but they come from the tribe of Amalek. But there's always been tension between them, because the Lord said that He was going to divide Satan's house. Let's get that. Okay, lessons within lessons. House divided. And Alex Jones is screaming blood and upset, because because now this is going viral. But at the end of the day, we've been brought this out, okay? Actually, no, I don't want that one. I want Matthew. Matthew hits it right here. Hits it hard. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Right. All right. You got Amalek against these everyday Edomites. They're divided. Okay. 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You see that? Okay. So clearly, all right. And again, this is the will of the Lord to make sure that these devils, all right, are not united so that they fall. Okay, so now we're gonna play. Watch Alex Jones catch a tantrum. All right.
Against Rome. Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one.
Hundreds of videos you can find of rabbis saying our main enemy is Europe because it's the original Rome, but America is a Rome as well. It will fall too. That's why you have the quotes of Netanyahu decades ago, we're done with America, it'll just blow away like a dead leaf or whatever.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So Alex Jones, he's all right. Hey, these devils knows they got a short time, man. They see their kingdom falling. All right, this is Yappus up, man. The Lord is working. Okay, all right. Hey, there's no more hiding the fact that America is on its way out, man. This is Yappus stuff.
And you got the Christian Zionists that believe worshiping Israel is the way to heaven. Even though the Old Testament is God saying to Israel, you've been chosen to carry...
Well, Alex Jones, he's partially right. Also, this Christian Zionism, and I went into this, they want war. They want, the wars to get bigger because they believe that when Russia and these other nations come into the statehood of the JJs, all right, that some of them will convert so that it'll bring back the Messiah, all right? That's why these Christian Zionists, they want war. That's in their doctrine. They want war. They feel that by war they can bring the Messiah back quicker. Yeah, I was reading some of that. It's all facts. You can Google it. All right. Them Christian Zionists want war. They want to make the wars bigger so that they can bring back the Messiah. But again, they think they're the chosen. That's the crazy part about it. See, the Lord got these devils in a trick bag. The deceiver here. See, here it is. They think that if they force these wars, okay, that they're going to be getting the kingdom of heaven, and they're not. They're going into slavery. The Lord got them in a trick bag. The deceive and deceiver. Wait, no. Actually, I should know this by heart. Job chapter 12, verse 16. Yeah, I didn't want to make this too long, but the Spirit, I'm hearing things, and I'm just bringing out, thinking of scriptures. Job chapter 12, verse 16. Within him is strength and wisdom, right? It's talking about, okay, our Lord, all right? The deceived and deceiver his, right? He's got these Christian Zionists and these JJs in a trick bag, all right? What they're doing, they think they're going to receive the kingdom, all right? Those that believe in the kingdom of heaven, but it's all to their own detrimental. Again, hopefully I can pull it up quickly. Christian Zionism beliefs. Mm-hmm. See, here it is. Here it is. Look, controversial. Some adherents, meaning Christian Zionism, have exposed controversial views such as viewing Hitler as an instrument of God to push Jews into their homeland, or expecting the rebuilding of the third temple, which the third temple is us. Okay, we're the third temple, the people. It's not a place. Okay, and the resumption of animal sacrifice, though not all Christians share these beliefs, right? So, do Christian Zionism believe? Let me see. Believe that war with Russia will bring Christ back. They're going. Yeah, here Christian Zionists are starving Gaza to bring back Jesus. Holy shoot. Uh yeah, look at this. The war is prophetically significant. Why U.S. evangelical Christians support Israel? Um, nah, they don't have it. I mean, you know what? I'll have to do a lesson on that. But I've read it. Several of their beliefs, several articles of beliefs, how they want war, they want chaos. All right, so that the Messiah returns. It's in their own. It's in their own literature. See, this is in their writing right here. It says, Stockton, 1987. In this case, a Jewish homeland will bring about an apocalypse which shall befall the earth as evoked by the nations in agony, men dying in fear, and redemption will be provided, but only to those who accept, that's not his name, all right, the Son of God as their personal Savior, bringing about an end of the Gentiles. Finally, then, only then will the 1,000-year period of peace, bliss, and holiness occur. It is also implied that God has selected the Jewish people as God's chosen agents. Well, God, the Israelites always been God's chosen people. Yeah. Anyway, I'll do a lesson on it because I've read their writings how them plantation Christian Zionists, they want all hell to break loose because it'll force the Messiah to return, which they don't understand. The Messiah is not for them. It's for the 12 tribes, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but this is incorrect. AI got it wrong. I'll have to do a lesson on it. Salakia. I'll do a lesson on it. Let me not go off on another topic for time's sake. Let's keep playing.
Carry my word for you as priest. You're not doing it. I am going to judge you harder than anybody else. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying the Jews aren't amazing and interesting and smart and great and bad and all the rest of it.
They're not the chosen people. Now, granted, are there some Israelites from the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob living in the statehood of Israel, aka I like to say statehood of Jacob? Yes, because we were scattered. But the bulk of the Israelites are here in America, Babylon the Great. This is where you idiots, you Alex Jones. All right, I know there's certain brothers and elders that think you're an Israelite. I don't. If you're watching this, I don't. I think you're an actor. Okay, you're a full blown Edomite. All right, but we'll see. We'll let the Lord decide your fate, man.
I'm not saying there's something not special going on here. I'm just saying God said he will deliver you to the Philistines and the Babylonians and the Romans because you have not followed God's orders.
Right. That's throughout our history. Every time we went off, the Lord sent the heathens against us. Okay. And then we ended up in captivity. Okay. Now, does that mean that these heathens can be saved because they treated us right in captivity? No. Okay, Genesis? Makes no damn sense, man.
And then when God sent you the real Messiah, you killed him. Now, how's that working out for you?
Look at that. Edom. So now Alex Jones about to talk about Edom.
Yeah, we got a bunch of rabbis. Just hours of it. We're going to blow up Rome. And America is the new Rome. Notice the buildings are built like Rome in Greece. And they got the fasci in the Senate.
Woo! Alex Jones said that. He said it. Let's read it again. Psalm chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Alex Jones said it. He said America's Rome. They got the fascists. Right. That goes back to Rome. All right. Rome is America is a fascist state. Okay. This whole capitalism and democracy, that's all fluff. That's all for the peons. Okay. America has always been ran and governed as a fascist society, man.
You know what those bundles of sticks with axes in the Senate are behind the Senate leader? That's all the countries and peoples controlled and tied together by the military with axes, hatchets.
America's, that hammered the whole earth. And also America has all the nations here, okay? The whore that sitteth upon many waters.
And it is true that Thomas Jefferson modeled off of Greece that was then Rome was modeled off of. Yeah, here it is. Europe is Edom because they're like, we will destroy Europe. Our main mission is destroy Europe. We're going to use the Muslims to do it because I can show you hours of this.
You see that? Hey, the Lord got this, setting it up. It's getting spicy. It's getting spicy. Alex Jones is now talking about it. And we've been saying this. Okay? We've been saying this. All right? Is any a little bit more? Yeah, we'll start with this.
Rabbis and different schools in Israel with the more conservative groups, but not really Nutricardi, kind of the pro-Zionist conservative groups, that have a long memory. And they're really mad about Titus in 70 AD and Pompeo and all the rest of it sacking Jerusalem. Because the Zealots, that's what the term zealot comes from, gave them some of the biggest problems the Romans ever had. And they fought hard trying to kick the Romans out. So
again, this was so-called black people, which are the real Jews fighting, okay, so-called white people, which are the Romans. Now, granted, did you have Roman citizens on the side of Judea? Yeah. All right. Did you have Israelites on the side of Rome? Yeah. Okay. Nothing new under the sun, just like you see now. Okay. Here in America. All right. But the Jews are the so-called, okay, well, Judea, which make up the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, okay? They make up Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all right? That was the three stars, right? Let's get Revelation 12. Lessons within lessons, Revelation 12. I didn't want to make this too long, but it is what it is. Revelation 12:1, the woman Israel. And notice it's all about Israel, you know. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon, and under her feet and upon her head upon her head a crown of 12 stars, which represents the 12 tribes. 2. And she, being with child, cried, travailing, in birth and pain to be delivered. It's talking about Yahushua. 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. Okay, this represents Rome, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Right, now this is talking about a time period, all right, where King Herod, okay, was, well, right here it says in 4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. You see that? The third part, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Right. This is talking about King Herod making that decree to kill all children 2 years and under. All right, because he was trying to kill the Messiah. That's how you know King Herod was an Edomite. He was an Idumean. All right, but the point right here, the third part of the stars of heaven. All right, it's talking about the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So yeah, just wanted to bring that out.
So Jesus, before he got crucified, said to the Pharisees, within one generation, that's 75 years in Leviticus, 74, not one stone at the temple will be sitting on top of the other. They laughed at him. The second temple after the one that Solomon built. And I mention these little things because people don't know all this history. This is all really important stuff. And so Titus comes in, he does that, he basically burns all Jerusalem down and orders in the Roman histories, not one stone on top of the other. That's the next to worst thing they can do.
Now, that was the prophecy, all right, that Jerusalem, okay, Jerusalem would fall by the Romans, okay, and it was destroyed, okay. Everything was destroyed. Everything was leveled out, okay, as it was prophesied. That's why Yahushua said, when you see the abomination of desolation, flee into the mountains. And a lot of Jake didn't, okay. Just like now, Jake sees, here it is. We're showing you QRF, Quick Reaction Force, all right. The National Guard is getting ready, and Jake just goofy as. That's how you know. We the Israelites. We the Israelites.
The Romans sometimes would order everyone killed and the earth salted. They did that with Hannibal and the trouble that he gave them, the elephants over the Alps and all that. It's all fascinating looking.
Yeah, Hannibal was an Israelite. He was a Jake. He was a so-called black man. And then you got Esau that got offended when the History Channel, all right, depicted him as he was mentioned by scholars. Hannibal was a so-called black man. But Esau can't phantom that. He can't see Jake in any position of power. It's all right though. You Edomites are going down. Them JJs don't like your ass. Them JJs consider you Rome, Edom. Okay? So they're setting America up for destruction. And it's all done to the spare part Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's why you'll never leave the Middle East. That's why you're going to fight to the death for the JJs, okay?
Sorry, Hannibal's not Jewish. You probably don't know about it. Only Jewish stuff know about, right?
Well, Hannibal was a Jake. He was a Jake, And
I'm sorry to the Jews who are obsessed with yourselves. I know study you, but other things as well. I don't hate you, by the way. I just want you not to get us all killed. Please, thank you.
You see that? Alex Jones knows. He knows these JJs are setting America up for to be destroyed. All right? He knows it. He knows that these JJs are not for America.
So there is this, I wouldn't say it's the majority, but it's a big vein in Israel. Hates Europe, hates America. I could play you 100 rabbis, prominent ones right now. I see it all the time because the anti-Israel people share it everywhere. And I knew about it decades ago, but I read their writings. And they're just like, Europe's the new Rome. Rome didn't really fall. And we're going to just help bring in the Muslims and destroy Europe. And when they all fall, we'll be in charge. And America pretty much is the new Rome, too. We'll probably destroy it.
America is the new Rome. Let's go back to Daniel 7. All right? Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, talking about Rome, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. Right, the 10 horns represent, the European Economic Community, now European Union. All right, but they had ancient names too. Okay, ChatGPT, help me out. Give me those names again, because I'm not really good at remembering all those names. But please provide me the ancient names of the 10 horns mentioned in Daniel 7. Daniel 7 and 7. There we go. Here we go. Man, ChatGPT. Woo! Woo! So yeah. So here's your 10. Okay. Anglo-Saxons, Franks, Alemanni, Visigoths, Suebi, Burgundians, Lombards, Heruli, Vandals, and Ostrogoths, right? Those are your 10. And that was the ancient name before they became Britain, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, Burgundy region, Italy. I think the Vandals, they may be, I don't believe North Africa. All right. Let me see. Where were the Vandals? I just want to do a quick little. Where were the Vandals from? Northern Europe. There we go. Scandinavia. There we go. Yeah. So they got that wrong. Okay. So there we go. All right. Like Poland. That's what they're saying. Yeah. You got to fact check because sometimes AI be fucking up. But anyway, there you go. Okay. That's why them JJs, they look at America as Rome. All right. Because they know, all right. I mean, not America. They look at Europe as Rome. Okay. And also America as Rome. Let's go back to Daniel chapter 7, because again, America's part of is actually the one pushing the Roman ideology, the Roman ways. All right. And here we go. Let's go to Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. And I considered the horn, see? And behold, there came up among them another little horn. There's the little horn, before whom they were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Right. All you got to do is go to history. All right. The little horn represents America. And America, all right, kicked out Britain, Spain, and the France out of this territory, okay, and established America. All right, that's the thing. You know, the Bible speaks of events that happened, all right, before it happened. All right, that's why, you know, we're a lot of you pseudo Hebrew Israelites, man. You just lost your way, okay? You can't see that America is being set up to be destroyed. You really trying to make it here? No, it's not going down. This place is through. And behold, in this horn, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Right, it's talking about America, Babylon the Great, speaking great things. Look at Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump, you know, shoot. He says something about the, you know, regarding the economy. The whole market went crazy throughout the world, you know. So yeah, just as an example, but more specifically, he speaks against the Bible. All right, he speaks against the truth. All right, and he's a Mo. All right, gay. Yeah, all right, Bubba. Man,
He just. I shouldn't even be doing this without pulling the clips up. I'll find him tonight. We'll do this again tomorrow because I'm covering for Israel. But the point is that these old civilizations have long memories, worse than an elephant. Like the Chinese for 300 years, 10 different European powers broke China up, shipped in opium, controlled them through the corruption, killed tens of millions of them with it. And the Chinese communists talk about all the time how they're going to bring down Europe and America and ship poison in here to get us back for what we did to them. Now, I didn't do it. Most of our ancestors didn't. It was the British East India Company and others, and the Spanish and the Portuguese and the Dutch. And
hey, it doesn't matter if you physically didn't do it. You are descendants of your forefathers, man. All right. Now, I know they're talking about the time period of when the British brought in all this drugs into China, got them hooked up on it. That's how they were able to conquer China and have China become a vassal state under Great Britain. Okay, that's why when you go to particular Chinese banks, all right, they have partnerships with Great Britain. In fact, check this out. Great Britain partnership with China via bank. Yep. Great Britain's partnership with China through banking involves financial cooperation such as the Bank of England, the People's Bank of China renewing a currency swap, and London serving as an international hub for the RMB. Okay? So, this is how you know, okay, who rules the world? These Edomites. Okay? So there you go. Just to show you that London has their hands in China. And again, the point I'm bringing is that it's you Edomites as a whole. You pushed your debauchery, your wickedness onto the earth. All right? You're the board of wickedness. So you have to pay. Okay? And you will pay. Prepare a slaughter for his children for iniquities of his father.
it doesn't matter. When they ship fentanyl in here, the Chinese government says you deserve it because your ancestors 300, 400 years ago did this.
Yep. And here's the thing. Why isn't Donald Trump going to war against China? Because he know he get his ass fucked up. He know he get his moass jacked up. He knows they will get their ass fucked up. All right. See, America, they only pick on those that are weaker. They won't go head to head with China. They won't go head to head with Russia. Okay. They got to do these proxies. Got to play these little games. All right, man. I can't wait till the Lord sets you Americans up that you have no choice but to fight China and Russia head on. It's gonna be a yappa day. I'm popping. I don't even drink, but I'm gonna. Okay, because I stopped drinking. You know, I'm probably gonna pop a wine bottle for that one. Okay, real talk. All right, because that's a wine bottle to pop.
Coming up from Israel again, telling you about the Chinese. No, I'm telling you about history. It's fascinating to know more than one subject. At least I know all the subjects which you people that don't like me don't know. You think it's like scary. Oh, God, he knows about China. Oh, God, all he knows about Jews. You don't even know this stuff about Jews, dumbos. You're about to learn it. So this researcher, who I see his stuff all the time, I think he's really smart, Eric Maltosis, because I'd seen these clips all separately, but I'd forgotten about them. He nails Netanyahu. And when I saw these clips, though, it made my head explode because I thought of all these other clips I have. And Netanyahu, over and over again, calls America the new Rome, because that's what the rabbis say. And then he says we're at war with Rome when he's talking to the Jews on TV and in interviews. So, yeah, no, Benjamin Netanyahu's an asshole. Grew up here in America, parents from Poland, and he acts like he's all pro-America. He sees America as another power block. And he sees it as the main block, so he sees it as a competitor. And so with somebody like him, man, or Hitler or anybody, I'm serious, these megalomaniacs do not think of anybody else being successful or powerful. It's like There Will Be Blood. He says, I don't like seeing other people being successful. There's a competition in me. That's what you're dealing with, is hyper alpha stuff. It's a disease. We'll be right back. So there is a wide swath of rabbinical belief in Israel and world Jewry. I mean, you just go watch it. You just type into X or anywhere. Rabbis talk about how Europe's the new Rome and will be destroyed by God's judgment for what Titus did in 70 AD, sacking Jerusalem and destroying the Second Temple.
The thing is, the statehood of Israel is going to be destroyed too. All right? Because they're not the chosen people. All right? You, the land, you took our land. Okay, what is it? Ezekiel 35? No, Ezekiel 25. Name is 36. I'm gonna get there. Bear me one moment. Oh, here we go. I was way too far. There we go. So here's the scripture right here. Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, that's the Edomites, which appointed, here's the point, appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So this is who BB and them JJs are. They are Idumeans. They took our land, okay, all right, and have possessed it, and coming off to the world like they're the chosen people, all right. So Alex Jones, you're wrong, all right. They're gonna be judged too, along with you guys, okay. You're all gonna get it when the Messiah returns, who the world and he calls Jesus.
And it's like a constant beef, like it happened yesterday. Rome was destroyed in 410 by the Germanic hordes. Constantinople fell.
Which was Jake. Jake took over. They don't want to teach that. That's what they call the Dark Ages. Okay? Jake had dominion over that. First of all, there was just infighting amongst Jake because really, when Jake started to come in power was during the time of Nerva. Okay? After Domitian, okay, was removed. It was Nerva, right? So that's when Jake started to come in power. Nerva, Domitian. Yeah, Nerva Domitian. There's a little history on it. It's was Roman emperor from 96-98. Nerva became emperor when aged almost 60 after a lifetime of imperial service under Nero and the succeeding rulers of the Flavian dynasty. Right. That the Flavian dynasty is what? Is who? Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Under Nero, he was a member of the imperial entourage and played a vital part in exposing the Piscean conspiracy. 65 later, as a loyalist to the Flavians, he attained consulships in 71, right, like president, and 90 during the reign of Vespasian and Domitian, respectively. On 18 September 96, Domitian was assassinated. There we go. In a palace conspiracy involving members of the Praetorian Guard and several of his freedmen. On the same day, Nerva was declared emperor by the Roman state. As the new ruler of the Roman emperor, he vowed to restore liberties which had been curtailed during the autocratic government of Domitian, right? Because Domitian was taking away rights. So this was a Jake, all right? And this is when Jake started ruling. So getting that history in from Nerva, because Domitian was clipped for being a demon, and then Jake comes into power. Again, it talks about Satan shall be bound. All right, that's in Revelation. Let's go on with the Spirit. Revelation 20, and I'll start at 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and the great chain in his hand. Right. That bottomless pit represents Europe, okay? There's a scripture in the Apocrypha where it talks about it compares the pit to the land, all right? 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, bound him 1,000 years. Right, this is when the Edomites weren't ruling anymore, okay? 3, and cast him into a bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. Right, it's talking about these Edomites, so-called white people, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed the little season. Right, and when was he loosed? When look at the history of the Moors in Spain. When the Moors fell in Granada, that was it. That was the last stronghold of Jake ruling. And after that, these devils have been ruling ever since. That's what they call the Renaissance period, all right? And these JJs know. Amalek knows, and Alex Jones knows.
500 and something years ago to the Muslims. There's been no Rome since then.
Well, the Muslims had the so-called, Middle East, all right, which Jake was fighting wars against the Arabs, Ishmael. Okay, that's where you get like the Crusades and all that. That was Jake fighting Ishmael. That's why the Lord is make you Ishmaelites in the so-called Middle East. That's why y'all getting droned to death, because you have to pay for what you did to our people, man. Okay, the Lord required that which is past.
Istanbul, formerly Constantinople. So the 99% of Europeans don't even know anything about Constantinople.
Nope, he's absolutely right.
They don't know anything about the Roman Empire or the Visigoth chieftain Alaric.
Right. The only ones that do know are the Edomite supremacists, all right, that don't want to have anything to do with the Bible. They want to go back to their pagan Roman ways, all right? A lot of Edomite supremacists are coming to the realization that that Bible's not for them, okay? Which is exciting. It's getting real spicy, man, all right? The Lord is really making major moves, man. You got to watch the chessboard, man. All right, he's playing, the Lord is having fun playing chess with these heathens, man.
The sacking of Rome in 410. They don't know about Titus. They don't know about Pompeo. They don't know about the Roman emperor ordering Israel destroyed.
Right. Again, Pompeo, all right, was a consul, a general. General Pompeo was also a consul, and he took his armies and sacked Judea and turned it into a tribute, a vassal state, okay? It's all history.
But Benjamin Netanyahu does. And the rabbis teach that Europe and America is the new Rome and that we must be destroyed for our sins in 70 AD, destroying the Second Temple.
You're going to be destroyed for what you did to us. And see, that's why the Lord got these devils in a trick bag. The Lord the Lord is plaguing these devils in the mind. They are setting themselves up for destruction. You got one group of Edomites, all right, which they're the tribe of Amalek. They think they're the chosen people. And then you got another group of Edomites that want to preserve America and keep the Roman ways, look to Rome as a foundation for running a government. So it's a beautiful chess move, man. Beautiful chess move from the Lord. That's why we give glory and praise to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. It's Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai that got these devils divided. And this is Yapa, man. This is freaking beautiful. This is spicy.
On memory. And I see all the anti-Semites. An anti-Semite, all they think about is Israel. To me, that's the definition. It's like they're more Jewish than the Jews. They know more Jewish stuff than the average Jew. Well, you dumbos don't know all this, do you? Because you actually don't research. You think the average Jew knows about this? No, it's certain rabbinical circles. It's a large group, but it's not the majority. I have to guess, 30%?
Right, the ones that are in the power seat, the ones that are, know the true history, okay? They know, who the Edomites are. They know they're Edomites too. But they're going to try, to cover up by stealing, because they're culture vultures, them JJs.
Hundreds of videos you can find of rabbis saying, our main enemy is Europe because it's the original Rome, but America is a Rome as well. It will fall too. That's why you have the quotes of Netanyahu decades ago, we're done with America, it'll just blow away like a dead leaf or whatever. And then you got the Christian Zionists that believe worshiping Israel is the way to heaven. Even though the Old Testament is God saying to Israel, you've been chosen to carry my word forward as priests. You're not doing it. I am going to judge you harder than anybody else. And I'm not saying the Jews aren't amazing and interesting and smart and great and bad and all the rest of it. I'm not saying there's something not special going on here.
See, this is why I don't think Alex Jones is an Israelite. Because you know all this history, but you still want to avoid us, all right? When we bring out the facts, who the true chosen people are, and that's why he's a controlled opposition, all right? And he's trying to preserve America, and they're throwing each other on the bus. This is why I'm just me personally, I believe he's an Edomite, Like, come on, you got all this fucking history, but for some reason you want to omit and avoid us. It's all right, though. You can't. Eventually, you're going to have to acknowledge us, and you're going to have to speak real soon. It's coming, all right? You're going to have to speak about what we're saying. The Lord's going to set it up. You'll see.
Saying God said he will deliver you to the Philistines and the Babylonians and the Romans because you have not followed God's orders.
Right. And again, that's all throughout the scriptures. The Lord said that he will send a heathen against us if we don't obey. That's in the curses, and you saw it throughout the scriptures, throughout the history, from the Neo-Babylonian Empire, all right, to the Persian Medes, to the Greeks, to the Romans, okay, all the way up to now, all right? The narrative never changed, okay? Prophecy had to be fulfilled, okay? But this time we're not going into captivity, another captivity, excuse me. This time we're going to be delivered, because in the book of Lamentation 4:20, right? I'll start at 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, right? So you so-called white people that dwells in the land of Uz. This is talking about America. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked, right? And you're being made naked right now. Everything's being exposed to who you are. Some wicked weirdos. Gay DJ Trump. 22. Momo. All right? For example, 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. Right, this is it. America is our final captivity. Okay? This is it. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right, judgment. All right? And you Edomites are going to be judged. Okay?
And then when God sent you the real Messiah, you killed him. Now, how's that working out for you?
Well, the Romans did kill him. All right, they're the ones that pierced him. Now, of course, our people's the one that gave Yahushai to the Romans, but you Edomites are the ones that pierced him. You're the ones that killed him. So you want to negate that. All right. Then did the Lord say, "Hold up, see you Edomites." See, you only want to choose scriptures that benefit your argument, all right? But you want to ignore everything else. Didn't Yahushai, hold on, I'm getting excited. What is it? Revelation 1:7, right? Revelation 1:7. Behold, he coming with clouds, right? It's talking about Yahushai coming with the angels. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Talking about the Roman soldiers. They're the ones that pierced him. Okay? And all the kindred earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. Right. And these Roman soldiers are back. This is reincarnation. Okay? Which you wacky-tacky plantation Christians can't comprehend. All right? Let's go back. So you are to blame for Yahushai's death. Okay? You're the ones, all right, that killed him. Okay? That afflicted him. Okay?
Yeah, we got a bunch of rabbis. I mean, just hours of it. Just, oh yeah, we're going to blow up Rome. And America is the new Rome. Notice the buildings are built like Rome in Greece. And they got the fasci in the Senate. You know what those bundles of sticks with axes in the Senate are behind the Senate leader? That's all the countries and peoples controlled and tied together by the military with axes, hatchets. And it is true that Thomas Jefferson modeled off of Greece that was then Rome was modeled off of. Yeah, here it is. Europe is Edom because they're like, we will destroy Europe. Our main mission is destroy Europe. We're going to use the Muslims to do it because I can show you hours of this.
Yep, you're going to see the nation of Edom. So you've seen the great divide, man. Okay? I think we hit the point. The point is that Satan's house is divided. They're making their own tongue fall upon themselves. These devils are cooked. This is why we're at the end, and we're just waiting for that chip, the mark of the beast. All right, but yeah, things are about to change. It's getting spicy. A lot of things are changing. All right, more and more people are waking up and seeing the lies. All right, and this is leading to our salvation. Those that have eyes to see. All right, the rest of our people get ready to be judged with this place. Okay, so with that, I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep ignoring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. To the fuses that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, preach, cover. Shalom. We're almost out of here. Shalom.